All right. A very good evening to all you people out there. The good ones, the bad ones, the all the ones, I guess. You, hopefully, if you're bad, you're in a good way bad of like being. That's a tough word. Bad. Like if you're a bad person. Of course, that constitutes like wrongdoers. But I guess if you want that dude bad, like you want to be kind of like really good. You know what I mean? That says, hey, I could do bad. Not a wrongdoer type bad. That is not always conducive, and unfortunately, that is going to be the topic of this discussion. Because I encountered some wrongdoers today, and that's the title of this. It's like, how do you deal with, you know, how does a warrior deal with, when shit is unfair? Like, when is it time to stand up for yourself, and when is it like questionable? There's a fine line. There's a fine line between these things. You know, as a warrior, you're man, and I'm not even talking pickup. I'm just talking just like in general, where you're out there in society. Um, if you live long enough, things are going to happen. I mean, this is the way it goes. So let's just get right into it. So what happened? I noticed I was walking around today, and there was the best way I can describe it, a cavalcade of young dudes, all on different types of motorized vehicles, um, like four-wheel type motor. I don't know what it was. It's not a forget what it is, like a ATV, maybe is the best way to describe. And then there was dudes on like dirt bikes, different kinds of stuff. And I noticed when they were coming up to this light, the dude on the ATV. I mean, this guy was going pretty fast, and he wasn't just he crossed the divider. The yellow line into the oncoming traffic's lane. But I guess there was a stop sign, stoplight. Now that didn't bother me. What bothered me was I was walking on the sidewalk, and one of the dudes on his dirt bike decided to go up on the sidewalk unnecessarily. Now there was I forget, I don't know what it's called, the indentation side, like a uh, not it wasn't a driveway, just there was a way he didn't have to jump the curb. Like I'm walking on the sidewalk, and just as this guy is flying right at me, and there's absolutely no reason. They were doing like there's a building under construction, and I guess the driveway, whatever, like it was completely irrelevant. Like so he used that as an excuse to get up on the sidewalk for no reason. Now this has happened literally right in front of me as I'm walking. Now this is where most people would just be shocked and get out of the way and be scared. There's a couple things that I guess if somebody's pretty bold, they can say hey, stop, dude, you're not coming up on the sidewalk here. Like that would have been pretty bold. Or if the guy is not going to stop, you could have stuck your arm out there, maybe clotheslined him or something. Now here's the problem: is he's with a group of these dudes. There were like 5, 6 of them. So if I would have held my ground, they might have all came after me. Um, I'm trying to think now. Again, I'm pretty good. Like I trained today too, so it's like this is not like a movie where it's like you knock somebody out, then they're all going to try to attack you. If they see somebody can fight, they're going to think twice. because just because their friend gets punched in the face doesn't mean that they want to take it too. Um, I heard a great line. I remember it says, "The first one that comes in is going to be the first one that's going to have to be carried out." Now, I mean, I'm. It's good. It's good not to have ego, but you want to exude confidence. Like, hey, you know what? You know, you're not going to you're not going to get the best of me. I mean, this is all I do every day is work on my fighting. Now, the thing is, I mean, this dude, like, he saw I was standing there and he didn't care. Okay, it was completely. Now I turned around and I watched the dude flew down the. Once he got onto the sidewalk, it was maybe another 100 feet to the corner. Now I don't know what there was nobody. Thank God there was nobody else walking on that sidewalk. But this dude, like he just did not care. Now I don't know if a police officer would have saw this. I mean, they would have been, they would have went after these guys. But the thing is, like, I felt part of me should have hold ground. Do not let him get up on the sidewalk. I could have held the ground, and if he came right at me, I could have grabbed him as his bike is. I could move out of the way position because I tell you what I do is I do defensive drills where I take the heavy bag and I push it, and then like that thing weighs, oh God, you don't want to be standing there if that heavy bag's coming back at you. So I know how to like get around it. I'm pretty fast for my age because I fucking work really, really hard at my speed, my defensive tactics, my fighting, my kicking, my choreography. I work really, really hard. Um, what that means, I mean, this one guy told me this guy that was considering being on my doctoral committee. He said effort counts for nothing. Effort don't mean nothing. And I say, fuck you, man. I mean, I didn't tell him that, but I basically did. Effort means everything. Effort is everything. You know, you never heard of the blood, sweat, and tears? I mean, you don't have to be a fighter to understand what that is. I don't care if you're a writer. I don't care what you are. But the effort put forth is everything. Okay? I'm not the best fighter. I'm not the best this. I'm not the best anything, but I want to be the best warrior junior I can be. Now, it's a very difficult thing because, you know, when I saw that bike coming right at me, I wasn't shocked and scared. I know I've seen like a cavalcade of these goons. Let's just call them scooges, goons, because I don't want to racially profile, these people. But, you know, it's like they're young and immature. What kind of person would do something like that? It's not my job to educate them. It's not my job to stop them. But, I could have held ground to where he couldn't get up on the sidewalk because he really thought he was, he wouldn't have been prepared for that. He would have had to react immediately. And I said, okay, well, what would that have done? I thought very quickly. And it's like the reason I didn't like hold position was because he wasn't coming after me personally. Um, Maybe he was trying to show off he could do it or something, but I don't know. Like I feel like the older people, like, first off, I pulled out my camera phone, but my phone is so slow by the time just try to get a license plate or something. But it's like people, they think like that you're like a pussy or something. I get that like implication, like you're not gonna stand up for yourself. And that's what kind of bothers me. I felt like I should have, you know, the bike's coming right at you. to get up on the sidewalk? What kind of fucking dumb monkey are you? And that's what you are. And you people like talk about you want respect and be treated with equality. Act like it. Don't act like a fucking, a fucking goon. You act like a goon, you need to be treated like that. That's the problem. You give too much. And that's the problem. You give some of these scooges and goons a little bit of power, and they abuse it. And they need to be taught a lesson, not by me, but they should be educated for that. So in a way, I'm like upset at myself by not holding my ground. But then in a way, like I felt like, all right, well, what's the point? I mean, dude, if you're walking around enough, you're going to see plenty idiots out there. Mental cases, and these people, if they don't even know you and they're talking shit to you, you're going to waste your energy and time on these people. Go ahead, see what happens. I had to wind up going to court one time as a witness because of it. It ruined my whole Saturday night. I remember I was trying to go out Saturday night, and this fucking dude came up on me. I had to walk in the street, and the cops showed up, and they fucking, why are you walking in the street? I said, well, this guy's bothering. And then all of a sudden, I was a witness. I had to go to Beverly Hills Courthouse. I had to fucking do all this shit. Don't let these people drag you down into their world. I told you what to do. Ignore them. Ignore them. But if they touch you, you fucking kill them. Okay? I don't care. If a woman doesn't know how to fight, you kick them in the balls as hard as you can. Period. Any woman can do that. You knee them in the fucking balls or kick them in the fucking balls as hard as you can. You don't have to be a fighter to do that. And you scream to the top of your lungs. And if it's at night, go out and buy a fucking mini flashlight that's bright as fuck. Okay? They make them. Cost whatever, $10 or whatever, the little ones. If somebody fucks with you in the middle of the night, you fucking take that shit and you shine it right in their fucking face. Okay? Take back your freedom. I can't go out. I'm scared to go out at night. You go out with a fucking flashlight and a little mace thing. Somebody fucks with you, you fucking spray them in the face. Don't let anybody take away your fucking freedom, okay? I heard of people so many times, some scared to go out at night. Yeah, you're imprisoned. You're imprisoning yourself because what you're watching on TV and stuff like that. Arm yourself. Why not? I got a fucking little pouch. It's a little pouch this big. Hold on, I'll show you. Hold on. I always like show and tell, it kind of helps. This fits. It has a belt loop, right? So, I put this around at night if I go out. This just goes into my belt loop, right? It's a little pouch. There's like nothing, right? And, fits right in your fucking hand. This little thing, one little click on this thing. Spray somebody in the fucking face with this. Holy shit. May God help them. $10. Gives you confidence. Like, you can go out at night. You don't have to fucking free. You know how easy it is when someone gets close to you to open this thing up? and keep it low and put this thing in your fucking hand, they're not going to see what the fuck this is. And if they fucking try to do anything with you, you put it right, get the fuck away from me, motherfucker. Yeah, you don't even have to say it. You can if you want to, but, you know, I'm sorry. Don't let anybody take your fucking freedom from you, okay? You want to go out at night? Go out at night. Scared to go, woman, scared to go out at night because of other fucking guys. Yeah, I told you what you do. You fucking you and you can, at home you can practice like knee lifts and kick. Like, it's not hard. A good fucking kick thrust, you know, or a woman has fucking nail whatever, you know. Do not let anybody fucking compromise your freedom. That's all we have is our freedom to live life. And there's bad people out there. And if they fuck with you, you punish them. And that's how you get rid of these bad people. You teach them a lesson. You know, believe me, that's the problem. You know, that's it's not your job to go around and find them, but if you know, if unfortunately, if they make themselves, you know, if they crawl out of the woodwork, believe me, you know. Well, let me tell you something. You got that fucking thing on you, and somebody tries to come up on you, and you know what? I call it the spidey senses. You know, you can tell. You gotta. There's a vibe of when somebody is looking to take advantage. They're not sincerely need your help or something. They got some intentions to try to do something. Now, a lot of it in West Hollywood, a lot of it is sexual. Okay, a lot of homosexuals and stuff like that. But you know what? It's not my job. I don't have to explain myself that, hey, I'm straight. I don't have to even, you don't even have to, I don't have to get into that with you. Go away. That's all you have to say. And if they don't and they stay on you, guess what? They're in for a little surprise. And when I say go away, I mean to say it with some serious intensity. Go away. Like real fucking strong and hard. Like you fucking are dead serious. And if they don't, then like Han Solo, real cool, you know? Yeah, remember, like, watch Star Wars, the New Hope. Watch this cantina scene when he's talking with Greedo. Yeah, well, he just tell Jabba that I have the money here. Jabba, screw with you. There's been, you know, the bounty on your head so large as Greedo. Remember? I've been looking for this for a long time. Yeah, I bet you have. Boom! And that's what you do. You boom them. Remember, I talk about the switch, the circular saw with the machine. Turn on the machine. If necessary, you turn on the machine. Don't let anybody fucking take away your freedom. That's all you have. You can't go out at night. Night is you know, half the 24-hour period. So you're saying you're basically in prison half your life? I want you to really think about that. You want to be in prison half of your life? You can't go anywhere? Why? The girl I used to date about, I'm a hot blonde, I can't go out by myself at night. Fucking idiot. You know? Your ego, that's why you watch the stupid shows and fucking think everybody's gonna do something to you. But that's not the point. The point is you're living in fear. I saw a little bit of that movie, Enough, you know, Jennifer Lopez, Enough. And the guy was like abusive and stuff. Yeah, the nonsense, you know, it's bullshit. But the point is that, you know, women should not, they should be able to go wherever they want and do whatever they want. And if some guy, like, you know, approaches hostilely, now look, I started this channel, I'm talking about pickup. Okay? I'm talking about trying to go and approach single women. Now I'm talking about how women should defend themselves. If a guy crosses that line, if a woman ever says, go away, and you don't, you deserve to fucking get sprayed. Okay? Believe me, they tell me go away, I fucking pay attention. And I also take into consideration the time I do approaches and where I do approaches. I don't approach women like 2 in the fucking morning on a residential dark street. You know, that's just I give them. You know how many times I've walked into the street to give women plenty of space if they're walking by themselves. And I've had like I've seen 2 girls walking together, like I guess they're leaving from like the nightclub or something like that, you know, restaurant bar, 2 in the morning, and they're on the sidewalk like a block away, and there's nobody around. I intentionally walk in the middle of the street, and if they look at me, I say, I'm doing this because I'm giving you plenty of space. And they always say thank you. They know. They know. I never like walk up from anybody from behind or real close to women in a, you know, when there's nobody around. That's creepy, weird. Put yourself in a women's situation. Put yourself in their situation. And I told you, you know, like you can be worried, do approaches, but fucking use your brain. Use your fucking brain when you're doing approaches. You wanna do things in non-hostile environment, like non-creepy ways. Yeah, when there's people around, therefore they don't feel threatened. Okay, or when it's bright outside, when during the day, because there's like, hey, you're not in hiding. If you're trying to do approaches in a dark street, you know, something like that, you're an idiot. Okay, it just shows you why the hell are you out at that? You know, in front of a club at 2 in the morning is a different story. That's okay. Even after our clubs till 3, 4 in the morning, it's okay. There's other people there, but don't fucking do approaches on fucking dark residential streets. Like by yourself, driving up. That's unacceptable behavior. Unacceptable. Stand in front of the fucking front of the club, yes, or after hours or like that's what I look. I do that too. I've done that 2 in the morning. I stand outside the nightclub. A lot of people come out all at once, and I do my approaches. They don't feel threatened. There's a lot of people around, but these people like the creepy kind of shit. On residential when someone's walking by themselves and stuff like that. No, 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 dude. You're being you're a fool, is what you are. You're a fool if you do that. And you got to break that. Whoever told you that's the way to try to do pickup, wrong. I'm sorry. The only exception, okay, like let's say like in a place open 24, like let's say a CVS or a Rite Aid or something like that, and you happen to be inside, and you see a hot chick or whatever, and you're inside the place, go for it. Go for the pickup. Yeah, you're in a brightly lit place. There's a see, but do not do fucking pickup with a woman like trying to get home or something at 2 in the morning on a dark residential street or something like that. That's just not how it works. You know, I'm trying to think. I don't. I'm trying to get the backward logic of it because what I try to do is try to look at every situation and try to figure out. Okay, well, is there something there that I'm missing? No, you're not. It's the incorrect. There's so many chances now. Most clubs close at 2 a.m. So I always call like nighttime whatever 9 till 2 in the morning. I always recommend going to clubs early, 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 early. You avoid the crowd. Just use there first early. Um, do your thing. I go to this thing with the older people dancing. Doesn't matter. It's like 7 p.m. to like 11, and they're done. They shut down whatever. Um, no luck so far. Close, but I didn't go last week. I didn't. I just hope you guys appreciate when I try to give like real world advice based on my failures. I don't hear anybody really doing that because everybody brags about their successes, but I really get on and talk to you guys about what it's like to not succeed, the difficulties and the challenges. Um, was it today I saw a woman going into some pet supply place, and she didn't say, she was going in, she was by herself, and as she was pulling the door open, I was walking by and I said, I just had to tell you, I'm seeing the most beautiful women today. And she laughed. I said that a couple times, that line, and all women generally laugh when I say that. Didn't equate to a phone number or anything, but maybe it's just kind of hard to hit a moving target because even on a Sunday, everybody's kind of in a rush to go someplace. In Los Angeles, I get that kind of vibe. That's why I always talk about moving to Las Vegas. I'm trying to go to a place to where you know it's more accepted. The tourists, women, they're more looking to have a good time. They're not, it might seem like in a hurry, but it's like kind of more accepted where the goes in Vegas stays in Vegas kind of thing. And in LA, you just don't get, it's like you have to know like a specific place to go, and then you have that what I call operating time. There are like singles mixers and stuff like that, but they can be very tough, man. I never hooked up with anybody. I went to all these. I tried speed dating. I tried this. I tried that. I never got nothing in communication with women, but none of them like gave me a chance. The guy in the gym, this dude, he goes, "You got really good taste, man. You're gonna have to be really something, to haul in what you're looking for. You're gonna have to be something quite exceptional." And I think about that. I was over at my friend's place. He likes to watch, a lot of these older movies. Or, and I'm looking at these actors, not when I say older movies, I mean maybe 20 years ago or something, to me, or even into the 80s. That's to me, I consider that older stuff. And, you see a lot of these actors, like I'm trying to remember what the name of the movie was, but it had like, oh shit, Chris Tucker, Chris Tucker was in it, and some I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Rush Hour. Oh, and Charlie Sheen. I'm sorry, Charlie Sheen. And I call that narrative the salt and pepper narrative. Like it works, and you see that like in Psych, the black guy and the white guy. I forgot their names, but like they bounce off each other. And I think about this in entertainment, and I've lived in this area, in the middle of this entertainment central for my whole life, and I never hit. I danced on a couple of TV shows, where I got to do my solo stuff, like but it never snowballed into any career or anything. And I think about like actors, and there's like I don't know, I can't imagine how many people like Chris Tucker's a heavyweight. Charlie Sheen is like a super heavyweight. Well, Chris Tucker probably super heavyweight. And you're talking about these dudes that have a tremendous amount of star power. Like they hit it for whatever reason. And what's so great is you can look up like on Wikipedia or whatever, and you can see like where these people came from and how did they like make their how did they get their establish themselves first. Now when they became famous, they're hit. You're gold, right? Um, but like Charlie Sheen, his dad, Martin Sheen, Apocalypse Now, and I know that doesn't guarantee you anything that your dad was an actor, what I mean? If I had, but to me, I just got to be honest with you. I just feel like It's not that difficult if you're given an opportunity. And if the producers like you or director likes you and the studios like you and they market you and you become something and it's like a snowball effect. I mean, how many people make make Charlie Sheen money or make Chris Tucker money? How many actors? How many? Like a handful. Like 110,000 people SAG after or more. And it's like they don't have every once in a while they have like open audition or something, but without an agent or manager finding you work. And a lot of these agencies, they don't accept blind submissions. So, here you are with your little resume and your headshot, and you can't even send it to anybody. You don't have an agent. In an agent, like these people, they don't accept blind submissions. A lot of these, I tried. So it's like, they said, well, try to go to central casting and be an extra. It's like, I get you some extra work, but it's, man, it's like nothing. I know two dudes, actually, I know three people that did extra. Well, one of them gave up with it, but I know this one guy, he's a little delusional. He goes, oh, I worked with George Clooney. He goes, and I said, really? Yeah, I was in the same scene. Really? So he tells me to queue up a scene in Ocean's 13, and I queue it up, and he's basically there's a scene where Clooney goes to like see a sumo wrestling match or something, and then he has all these people in the crowd, and there's the guy that I know. He's behind Clooney, but he's not talking to him. He's talking to these other extras, acting excited. He didn't get any dialogue lines. He didn't get nothing. So in his warped mind, he goes, "Oh, I was in a scene with Clooney. You were, but you're not. You're an extra. Extra plus is what you were. You didn't even get a word out, and that's you got to have that. If you don't, you're just an extra. You're nothing." And I'm sorry to say that, to that guy, it's like the highlight of his years and years of trying to make it um, in acting. I know another guy that was in The Pursuit of Happiness, great movie. If you've never seen it with Will Smith, go watch it. It's worth the time. He was like in the scene when the office, in the Dean Witter office, all those people on the phones and everything. He got to do that, but he never hit with anything. Being an extra, what is that? Now we have heard of tremendous people, I mean, that have succeeded at from being started out as extras. Jean-Claude Van Damme, he was in Breaking, he's an extra in that. But dude had talent. He was like a class A martial artist. What makes you special? You gotta be hard on yourself. What makes you different? Like, what's his name? Jackie Chan? Dude was like working in and he's 20 years old as what a stand-in like the guy Bruce Lee was fighting and Jackie Chan was working on that movie when he was 20. Okay, these dudes got some serious fucking time under their belt. you know and then I watched, my friend was telling me about these guys that he used to uh, work like in a, what's it called? Not a bar back, but like the guy at the front that takes the money, the enter the bar, whatever, like a doorman or something. And this guy, I forget what his name is, Jack McGee or something. And he was like, yeah, I saw we were watching like Seinfeld. It's like he had a little couple lines in there, Backdraft and some other things, but nobody really knows who that guy is. You know, he's like a B minus something. And in that movie, the one that we were watching with Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen, I even forgot the name of the movie. There's this one actor. I think his name is Michael Wright. He was in the original V, and it kind of thing jumped out at me. I said, "Yeah, I know. That's him." And he never took it over the top. There's so many people, they never took it over the top. They never, you know, it's like you can watch some of these movies and see like the same people, like, but you don't know who they are. You don't know their names. You go, oh, I've seen him in other things. Yeah, think about that. Think about how many people are there like that you've seen him in other things. You don't even know his fucking name, because what they do is they take the people that are bankable and they give them everything. And then there's everybody, what I call the underlings, everybody else, your B actors, the people that are all trying to, you know, get that big. I mean, Stallone basically, I mean, I know it won't sound right when I say this, but you have to understand, they basically handed it to him, okay? Because he got the lead, he got the star, in his movie. Now I know that wasn't the first thing he did, but it was damn near close. He didn't get much work in until but it's just kind of timing. 1976. You have to understand, America was coming out of Vietnam. We didn't have COVID. People wanted to pick me up. They wanted the bicentennial of the country. 1776, 1976. And then Star Wars was being already well underway, but being put together to come out in 77. Elvis died. Saturday Night Fever came out. You have to understand what is called timing. Arnold was just getting started, even though that movie, the Hercules in New York thing, flopped. But then shortly after that, the Terminator. If I'm not mistaken, that came out in '81. But you're you have to understand that these people, their timing was just there. Um, and they became bankable, and that's the key word, is bankable. Now, if you're not bankable and you've got like a reputation, then guess you can continually get work, um, if they can use you for something. But again, isn't it based on kind of like you're used for what you kind of look like? Was that guy Dennis Franz? He looks like a New York cop, like kind of thing. So that's why you got that NYPD Blue thing. He looks like. You know, some people like Ice-T transcended, being a fairly successful rapper. But you have to understand, back then, rapping was like, look, it's kind of like a flash in the pan thing. I don't know how much real money they were making, like Run DMC and stuff. Look, these guys were the innovators, creators. And then, guys like Dr. Dre came along, and then, of course, and he basically uh, brought Eminem under his wing, like promoted him. So the whole thing was that, there was money to make, but it took a while, you know. And of course, Eminem did that movie 8 Mile. If you've never seen it, I would check it out. It had Brittany Murphy in it, who died unfortunately when she was very young. It was a very good movie. Kim Basinger's in it. Yeah, 8 Mile is very good. It has that battle rap kind of thing, and even though I was never really a rapper, but I definitely know what competitive dancing, street dancing is. It's one of the elements of hip hop, and I've had my share of it over 25 plus years involved in the street dance industry. Um, but really it's not, you know, a big deal. It's, you know, the rapping was something that could be packaged and marketed. I mean, when I met Suge Knight one time, he saw me dance. He goes, "Can you rap?" And I go, "No." And that was the end of the discussion right there. You know, it's like big difference. You look at people like Paula Abdul, for example. You know, she's an OG. She goes back to the '80s, but she was known first as a dancer and choreographer. Wasn't really a singer, but I guess whoever, I forget who promoted her or manager or something, you know, they said, look, if we can get you kind of to sing, you know, or work on this. She had a very cute look. You know, a young woman, you know, with a cute look doesn't have to be the greatest singer of all. Like, I mean, Mariah Carey's a very rare exception. But I mean, let's look at like Britney Spears, for example. You know, she uses that kind of that not a real singer kind of thing. You know, she kind of wishes she was. You know, she had the you know, she can change her voice kind of thing. But the real genius are the and I actually met some of the writers that wrote some of her music. Ironically, sometimes, but it wasn't. It's like the beat engineers, you know, the sound recording engineers. They put it together and make it danceable. That's the real magic. You know, boom, boom, boom. You know, you know, oops, I did it again. Hit me, baby, one more time. I mean, that's like, you know, that's what it is. It's not her per se. It is her, but it's not. You know, they say you could put any cute, talented, you know, woman, young woman like that, and you can put that, bom, 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 you know, like it flows. You know, like it's just badass. Some of that, you know, toxic and stuff like that. You know, so it's like, I mean, she's basically the vehicle, but it's like everything I just said are the people that drive forward. It's not her. She's the vehicle, but you know the management is stirring it in the right, is turning it, driving it forward in the right direction. And I said the same thing about Rocky. Stallone was just the vehicle. It was Winkler and Chardoff that drove it forward. It's the producers, and you know there are artists out there that, you know, people took risks on, and they never made it. It cost, you know, record producer a lot of money. You know, that's why they just cut a single first. They say, you know, as anybody will listen to this person, like, look, they're not in the gambling business. They're in the money making. They're in the music or entertainment business. What they want to do is saying, okay, well, look, we want to invest this much, and then we want to make this much off of you. So, like, you have to understand when they gave Charlie Sheen $1 million an episode for Two and a Half Men, you have to understand there are a lot of television sets in America and across the world. So they're giving him $1 million and John Cryer how much whatever, and you got to understand everybody in their mother knows what that show is. So really, they're receiving this, and was it Chuck Lorre, the producer, was making this, and then of course the studios make this. So, you know, $1 million sounds like a lot of money, and it is, but you have to understand in the grand scheme of things, if you're on the highest rated show on television, it's not a lot of money. And that was his big gripe, and he wanted to be the highest paid actor on television. And I guess they wouldn't, you know, he asked for 2 million or 2 point something. And I remember the guy that's Pepsi. I forget who it was. The CEO president of CBS pleaded with Charlie Sheen, drove to his house and was pleading with him. And you know, Charlie Sheen would not break. He wanted to be the highest paid. It should have been given to him. It wasn't given to him, and he left. And he basically, I don't know how much he got for anger management. It was an awful show, if you know it. It did run 100 episodes, but it had no. It just showed you like he could not. do it on his own. Um, you know, the who was that? There was some that old bald guy that was from Northern Exposure. You know, he was on there, and you know, they it just didn't work. It didn't work. Two and a half men is Charlie Sheen. I mean, he's like, you know, Charlie Harper. It's like a womanizer. You know, it's easy. You know, he's kind of being himself. You know, it's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, like the reason that he was so good, I could care less about that guy. You know, I thought he was nothing. You know, this is what are you dumb? What are you stupid? What? You know, and I say, why is this fucking guy getting such a push? And it's because you don't understand how many people relate to that redneck guy. You didn't understand that guy, that tough son of a bitch, man, beer drinking, fuck you. You know, like that. I mean, I thought that guy was a nothing. I thought he was just a flash in the pan thing. Guy became more like the definition of the Attitude Era. This guy was fucking, you know, the held the fucking thing, and then everybody like, you know, they came after him. You know, the Stone, the Rock, and then Triple H would, and then full. I mean, he became, but the whole thing, that guy was just like, that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so. Gonna drink beer. You know, he does things with the beer and all that shit. You know, he's doing shit that's like, you know, the ultimate rebel. You know, he was like the 20th, through the late 90s and the 2000s. I was like, guy was like the ultimate kind of rebel thing. And, you know, people kind of related to that, you know. So even though I thought he was nothing, but, you know, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the masses of people think. And if you're, you know, like what happens is he's really smart, you know, in a way, because he knew exactly how to, how to control. You know, The Rock is really, really good at that. When he's got the microphone and he goes, and the millions and millions, the whole crowd, and until they get into it, he knows. He knows, and he's an expert shit talker. You know, like that's really, really important because it's like, yeah, you got to have. I mean, see the look. It's really interesting because I was watching like a little bit of like WrestleMania 30 highlights. It was like Cena versus Bray Wyatt. You know, that guy doesn't look like nothing. You know, but you know the whole thing was to create like the character. You know, like he played a kind of a crazy, kind of like weird, but he doesn't look like, you know, he's not built like Batista or anything. You know, but that was okay for McMahon because you see the whole idea is to make Cena look really good, and you don't want him overshadowed. You know, he's the portrait of the company. I mean, it's really amazing. That guy, I've met him before. Jesus, 6'1", 240, and it's like just God. You know, I mean, Arnold in his prime was like around that 6'1", 240 at his big, and it's like that's considered kind of like a normal uh, for a guy like really well built in WWE to be like that. You know, and you know, it's just really incredible. Like, you know, the synthetics, what they can do, what they can make you look like. It's pretty amazing. Um, but unfortunately, you putting very hardcore chemicals in your body, there has to be a price to be paid. Um, it's like these women that go out and get like these huge boob implants and stuff like that. Um, it can't last. They have to like get them reduced or taken out after a while because this body's not designed. It might look extraordinary, you know, like for a little while, but it just can't, you know, like your body wants to return to some type of homeostasis. And, you know, you're a bodybuilder, you know, how long can you be on that kind of shit, you know, before something really, when your organs are going to start telling you, oh shit, you know, I guess when you're young, you're kind of impervious to that. You know, your body can handle a tremendous amount of stuff, but you know, you're gonna get older, man, and that shit's gonna fucking it's gonna catch up to you. It's gonna catch up to you. I mean, anything. There's just no fucking way. Time catches up to everybody. I mean, that's the way it is. Um, if you keep yourself in absolute first class condition, um, it makes it a lot easier. You know, you know, but you're still going to get old. Um, you can't stop that. You can't stop time. Um, but if you keep yourself strong and moving and going, um, you can tell it. You can basically tell it, hey, not so fast. Get it? Not so fast. But my take on growth hormone and steroids, there's a huge difference between use, misuse, and abuse. And you know, I could take a look at somebody and I can tell you if they're misusing growth, misusing anabolics, using or abusing. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think there's anything really more. Oh, yeah. So I just want to wrap up something about entertainment. You know, the problem that I have with it is like, you know, I did try reach out to agencies and stuff, but I never got professional headshots. I guess maybe just lack of confidence or something. And you know, I said, well, what makes me really that special? You know, and it's like they gotta want you. The producers, you know, they gotta. It's just a very. You don't feel like you're needed. How are you gonna market yourself? Like, how are you gonna? So many, you know, how many actors there are out there that were working in the '80s or whatever, and then not doing anything now. There are people that were at this shit 40 years ago. There's no guarantees. There's no hierarchy of like saying, "Oh, I was in this in the '80s, you know, so I should be getting now." Don't work that way. Believe me, you can live right in the middle of all the entertainment and not shine. Believe me, I know. You think if you're a singer, you're a dancer, you're an actor, you're a musician, good luck, man. Good luck. There's a lot of people that can do what you can do. There's a lot of people that are fucking way better than you. Yep. There's people out there that got some talent. They put them on that stupid show. You see these magicians on America's Got Talent. They're fucking really good. They're not on a magic show or anything. They're on a little novelty act show. That's all they can get. All right. Well, I guess that's all. Hope you appreciate it. Covered some interesting things. Hope you learned something. I will continue teaching you. Warrior Junior believes in you. As long as you believe in yourself,